y'all, it's your girl Ord here with another video. So this video is gonna be all about this look. It's just a quick everyday back to school, back to work kind of makeup. Nothing too extravagant, but still beat to the heavens. You already know. So if you'd like to see how I achieve this look, please keep watching. Hey guys, so let's get into this video. So I'm gonna use my Fenty primer. This primer is great. It smooths out all your imperfections. It gives your foundation a really nice base, and I absolutely love it. I use it with most foundations that I use. So here's my Fenty foundation in the color 390. This is my summer shade. I only use 2 pumps on a daily basis. I don't use a lot because I have to have this makeup on for at least 8 to 12 hours. So I only use 2 pumps. And you'll still see some imperfections, but once I conceal and contour and powder and all that, you don't see anything. So this works for me. So I'll have a light layer of foundation with everything else, and it'll be nice and comfortable for the day. So this is my Too Faced Born This Way concealer in the color, what color is it? Good question, right? In the color Warm Sands. I like a bright under eye. No matter what, I love a bright under eye. So I'll spray my beauty blender is already wet, but I'll also spray with the Urban Decay All Nighter setting spray because that just helps to lock the concealer in place. So this is my Beauty Bakerie flower powder. I use that in the color yellow. I like to powder right as soon as I conceal because I have like some fine lines that I end up having to blend again if I do it both and then powder. So I like to do it like this, one at a time. But whatever's most comfortable for you, that's how you do it. And as you can see, I conceal my eyes, my eyelids as well. This gives you a good base for your shadows, so you don't have to take an extra step to prime your eyelids. It saves time in the morning. So clearly I put too much highlighter on my chin, but it's cool. We'll make it work. So now I'll just powder it all down to lock it in place. I like to do everything in steps, and mainly because I use this Kat Von D Lock It Foundation for my concealer. For my contour. And since I use a powder contour, that's why I like to powder my my face in the highlighted areas before I contour. So this foundation, I bought it as a summer shade, but it ended up working better as a contour because it was a little too dark. So that's what I've been using it for, and it works beautifully. So now it's time to bake. So while I'm doing my eyebrows and my shadows, I just put a little bit more powder, my Beauty Bakerie flower powder, underneath my eyes, up and down my nose. I cut out the contour a bit just to give it a little bit more definition. And I will powder my chin and everything else just to give it a little bit more oomph for the day. So as I said, with those 2 pumps of foundation, after I've done all this, then it all blends in seamlessly and you don't see any of my imperfections. So time for eyebrows with my Nika K eyebrow pencil. I love this pencil because it's $2, $3 at the most, depending on what beauty supply store you go to. So I buy these pencils in bulk. So even if anything goes wrong with it, anything happens to it, you can just sharpen it right up and move along. No problem. So as you can see, it's best to have the pencil really sharp, but sometimes shit happens, right? So you just resharpen and start over again. So here we go. It's good to have your pencil really, really sharp because essentially you're drawing in hairs. Like, you don't want it to be where you're coloring it in like a marker. You want it to be that you're drawing hairs in like a pencil. That way it's not very harsh. You know, it looks like a gradient eyebrow. You see how it's a lot lighter in the beginning than it is at the end. So that's why it's good to have a really sharp point when you're doing this. I'm going to do a dedicated eyebrow video. I mean, I have one, but it's pretty old, so I'm going to do another one just to show you guys exactly how I get my brows the way I do, because I get a lot of questions about my brows. So this brow powder that I'm using, I really have no idea what brand it is because it's wiped off the top of it. As you can see, when I held it up, you can see the pan, there's like nothing in it. It just works really well for deepening up the tail end of my brow. Like, that's just what I use it for. But you could use literally any dark brown eyeshadow. And so what I use to clean up my brows, I use whatever foundation I'm using, that's what I use to clean up my brows, because I don't want that giant halo effect where it's so bright all around your eyebrows. I feel that looks ridiculous. So I just use whatever foundation I'm using. I clean up the bottom, I clean up the top, and I'm able to get the perfect shape without my eyebrows looking ridiculous. You see how seamless that went? It just melts right in. And this is a flat detailer brush. I believe this brush is, I believe it's a Sigma brush. I'm not really sure where I got this brush from. I only use it for this specific purpose. So any really flat, small detailer brush will work for your brows. So I'm just taking the excess powder on my sponge just to set it underneath the brow so that it's not sticky and wet. So then I'll use my Great Lash Clear Mascara to set the eyebrows in place. That way they stay that way all day long. So I'm going to go in with the Colourpop mascara in the color Dynasty. So I've never used these Super Shock shadows before, and it really was kind of hard to blend it out. I'm not really sure why. I mean, they're kind of buttery. I don't know. I've never had this problem before. But as you can see, it's kind of taken me a lot to blend it out. But I really did like the color. I'm going to look on their websites to see if maybe I am using it wrong. Maybe a certain type of brush I should be using, or I'm not really sure. But it was a little bit hard to blend. But once I got into it, then it did blend nicely. Once I got it blended, it just took a bit of effort. But everything is trial and error. That's what makeup is. So this is another Super Shock mascara shadow in the color Flux with You. I love that name. So I like to use shimmers with my finger, especially these kind of soft buttery shimmers. I like to use them with my finger. I feel like it just goes on a lot quicker that way. I don't have to use as many layers when I do it with my finger. But once I'm done with my finger, then I'll go in afterwards with a brush to get in like my inner corner area. So after I've done that, now I'm gonna go back in with that same Dynasty shadow and just clean up around the edges and just blend those two colors together. Now I'm gonna take that same color Dynasty and put it on my bottom lash line. So I'm gonna use this Ofra highlighter. Use a lighter shade in this palette for my inner corner and underneath my brow bone. And as you can see, when I put it on my brow bone, I don't use very much at all. It's very, very light and subtle, but you can see it. Like I said, this is for a day-to-day look. So you don't want your eyes to look so dramatic when you're just going to work or school. Now I'm just gonna wipe away the excess powder, and then we will move into blush. So this is my Milani blush in the color Coral Cove. I absolutely love Milani blushes. They're so beautifully pigmented. You don't even need much, as you can see. I only tapped it in there one time to get this pigment. So I'm going to use that same shadow that I used on my lid as a highlighter. And that worked out pretty freaking good. I absolutely love it. You see how pretty that is? It's so pretty. I love it. Yes. So now I'm going to take that same that same shadow and put that on my Cupid's bow. And then put some on the tip of my nose and on the bridge of my nose. I love this shade. It's so pretty. So now let's move to mascara. I love all Benefit mascaras. I love, love, love them. I love this one, the Roller Lash, and I love their Real. I absolutely love them. So the key to bottom lashes, you have to tilt your head down when you're doing your bottom lashes. If you keep your head straight forward looking in the mirror, you're going to get mascara on your face. It's just inevitable. But if you tilt your head down as you're putting the mascara, it gives you more room to work with the hairs on your bottom lash line. So last but not least, I will set it all in together and let it melt in with my Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. So this is the finished look. So these lashes, guys, I am thinking of starting a lash brand. So these are some lashes that I've been trying out. So I don't want to talk too much about them just yet. So this is the finished look. For my lips, I added this Colourpop lip gloss, extra glossy lip called Steelo. It's a collaboration with Ellery. I love this gloss because you can match it with absolutely anything. You can wear it with any look. Daytime, nighttime, you can put it over a lipstick. Like, it just works in so many different situations. So this is perfect for like an everyday back to work, back to school type look. So if you guys liked this look, please like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye. Mwah.